Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to our program tonight on Transparent Language Online. I am Kara and I'm the Adult Services Librarian at the Oregon Public Library, and I will be walking you through how to use this online resource. So Transparent Language Online is a language learning program that the library subscribes to for our card holders. Transparent Language covers over 110 languages and also has materials for English as a second language, which on the screen is referred to as ESL. As part of Transparent Language, there is also KidSpeak, which is a program designed for kids. It includes animated modules to engage kids to learn another language. And KidSpeak covers English, French, Chinese, German, Italian, and Spanish. And of course, if you are an adult, you can also use KidSpeak if that feels like more fun for you. Something that's really great about this resource is it covers listening, reading, speaking, and writing. And focusing on all of those aspects of language helps you learn it. And especially if you have a certain learning style, you can focus on one thing over the other. I find writing and spelling to be very challenging. But once I can spell something, and it just really helps me learn the vocabulary and like use it in a sentence. And it really helps me remember what things mean. Another thing is that for the listening portion, Transparent uses native speakers, and that really helps with pronunciation and understanding the language as it's spoken in real life. So that really helps with that. The speaking lessons are also really great. When you're using a device with a microphone, you can record your pronunciation of the word and then compare it to the native speakers. So that's really helpful because you may not really hear how you're saying it is different from how the native speaker is. But when you have those recordings, you can play one and then play the other. And when I go live a little later in the presentation, you'll see some examples of that. So Transparent Language will also adapt to your needs. So as I said, my spelling is terrible, like truly bad. And as I go through modules, Transparent Language will recommend more modules to help me improve that skill. Also, as you go through your modules, you can skip or repeat whatever you want. So perhaps on a certain day, I just don't have the patience for something. I can skip it and come back to it later. You can also, like as I said, you can also repeat something. So if you're like, oh, wow, like it said I finished that module, but I think I need to come back to it, you can do that. And finally, Transparent Language is usable on many different devices, including laptops, tablets, desktops, and phones. So there is a mobile app, which is also really convenient to use. It syncs your progress with your account. And so it's really convenient if you're waiting somewhere and you have a few minutes, you can do a lesson from wherever you have your phone. Phones and most laptops also have that built-in microphone. So it makes the speaking lessons really easy to do because the microphone's like already there. You don't have to deal with, earbuds with the headphones and all that stuff. So I highly recommend having the app on your phone. So what we are learning today, first, I will cover how to get to Transparent Languages on our website. And then I will go over how to create an account. I'll talk a little bit about the mobile app and how you get that set up on your phone. And then we'll do some live demonstration. You'll see some of the modules and learning lessons in action. So the first thing you'll need to do is go to our website at oregonpubliclibrary.org. In the blue menu at the top of the screen where I have that arrow pointing to, click on Research and Discovery. This takes you to a page that lists all of our resources alphabetically. We have a lot of resources that are available to our card holders. Some of them we subscribe to specifically, like transparent language, and some of them are provided by the state or are other free online resources that we have vetted and determined are really good and reliable resources to use. So if you scroll down, you get to transparent language in the alphabet. And go ahead and click on transparent language, and it will open up a new tab in your browser that takes you to the authentication screen. So since the library pays for this resource, we need to make sure that you are an Oregon Public Library card holder. If your home library is set to Oregon, so it like automatically sends your holds to Oregon, then that's how we determine you are a card holder. And you will have access to this resource. So once you log in with your library card number, you're taken to this page here, which is the transparent login page. If you already have a login, you type in your username and password. And then next, I'll go over how to create an account. So this is the login page, and if you click over on the sign up tab, you can create a login. So here on the screen, there is also a link just under the green login button that says continue as a guest. You can use transparent language without a login. But one of the great things about transparent language is that it tracks your progress and adapts to your learning needs. So if you continue as a guest, none of your progress will be tracked, and you'll basically be starting over each time you use the resource. I suppose there might be instances when you want to use the resource as a guest, but generally I highly recommend creating an account. So let's click on sign up. So signing up is really easy. You must enter a username and password. You do not have to enter a name or an email, but I would recommend at least an email. So if you lose your login credentials, you can retrieve them again. Otherwise, you'd have to create a new account, and it's complicated and frustrating. So the password requires at least 8 letters long, to include one lowercase, at least one uppercase, at least one number. And then as you're creating the password, it's kind of nice. As those requirements are fulfilled, they turn green. So you know like which requirements you still need to fulfill with your password. So that's kind of a nice feature. Then you need to type in your password again to confirm the password. And you have to select that you agree to the terms of use, and also confirm that you're 16 years or older, or if you're not 16 years or older, you're the parent of a child, a parent of the child, so that they have permission to use that resource. And then you click on create account. And the first time you log in, it takes you to this screen where it lists out all of the languages available. You can click on a language and get more information. So I'll click on English. And what pops up are all of the different English courses that are available. So we're seeing here all the different courses for ESL students. And then if you want to add something to your account, you can click on it and add it to your account. All right. So now I've gone over how to create an account, and we'll go over the mobile app. Once you have added a language to your account, when you log in, it will open up to your learning path instead of that list of languages. And then it also gives you the option for the mobile app at the top of your screen. And I have the green arrow, or is it yellow? A green or yellow? The big arrow pointing to it. So you can just click on the mobile access there, and it will give you the information you need. So this is what pops up. And from the mobile app page here, it gives you the QR code and prompts you to download the app. And then you just log into your account or use the QR code, and it links the two accounts together. And then you're good to go. So I just wanted to show you what this looks like in an app store. This is Google Play. So depending on what device you're using or whatnot, you may use a different app store, but this is the Google Play one. It is a free app. You can just click and download and install it. So next up, I'm going to log into my account, and I've been working on learning Italian on and off for a bit. So I'll show you what that looks like for me. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen and start sharing a new screen. There it is. Okay. So now you should be seeing my login screen. I'm going to go ahead and log into my personal account. And here we are. So at the top of the page, you have the Transparent Language logo here. And if you click here, it takes you back to Learning Path. So if you ever get lost, like, where am I in this account? You can just click on that logo and it will take you back to here. Next, it tells you the language that you're learning. You can learn multiple languages if you want to. And so if you click on the down arrow, you can see the different languages I have in here. This one, the Latin American Spanish for English speakers, I mostly just added to show that you can do multiple languages. So if you click on that, it will take you to that learning path. And I haven't done any of these lessons because it was just for show. I'm going to switch back to my Italian. Here we go. You can always add or remove more the languages. So, whatever you're wanting to do, you can. Next up, we already showed you this. This is the mobile access information. The next icon is the menu icon. So this will take you to profile information and give you the ability to also change the interface language. So this is really for, like, if you're a native Spanish speaker and you want to take ESL classes, you have the interface in English, and that's not super helpful because you're trying to learn English. So you can change that. Or if you just want an extra challenge, you could change the interface to the language you're learning. I'm not super into that because I need to learn the language first. But that might be a good practice thing to do. So that is under that person icon. The next menu item is this bell icon, and these are for notifications. You can sign up for different notifications, or it will tell you, like, you started a lesson and you didn't finish it. And you can get notified of, a hanging lesson that you didn't complete. If you want to do that, you can. So there's that. And then the last option here is the question mark icon, and this is help information. And if you need to contact help or support or something, you can use that icon. So this is kind of the home page for learning, the learning path. Let's see, what else do I have to say on here? This is kind of the learning dashboard. So this is the main section here where you'll see lessons and ones you've started and ones you've been working on. And you can add different units, or remove them. Like, oh, I really don't want this one. You can go here and remove from path if you want, or view the vocabulary, or, so that's pretty flexible with that. To the right of that is goals. So if you want to, you can set a personal goal. And the goals can be anything to any amount of time that you want per day. So yesterday when I was in here poking around, I set a goal of 15 minutes a day. And I was going to do my 15 minutes either during this course that we're set up or after. So you can see I have a 1-day streak, which was yesterday, and then I hope to do some more today. Below that, we have learned vocabulary. So you can see all the vocabulary words that you have learned. We have a fresh, stale, and archived. So fresh are vocabulary words that you've just learned, just mastered, or that you've just, refreshed on. And then stale are ones that you haven't looked at for a bit, so you may need some help remembering. And archived are ones that you just know for sure, so you can archive it and it'll never come up again. So I was going to show you how to refresh some of your vocabulary. I'm going to, I think I'm going to try to refresh some random, and hopefully it will be some ones that I know, so it's not super embarrassing. And so here we go. I'll do refresh 10 random, and we won't do all 10. What is your name? This is something chiamo. And so then we can show
Come si chiama?
Come si chiamo. And did you hear that? You can hear them say it again. So here's the regular speed.
Come si chiama?
Come si chiama. Come si chiama. You can also hear it slow if you click on the turtle.
Come si chiama?
Come si chiama. Was I right? I was not. I got 2 words. So then it repeats again. What is your name? Come si chiamo?
Come si chiama?
Oh, and I said O instead of ah. Come si chiama? Okay, but I'll say I was right. I would like to buy. This is a prendier.
Vorrei comprare.
Vorrei comprare, and you can go on like this, and I'm not doing well at all. So if you totally got this, you're I know vorrei comprare. You can then click on archive and it will not come up again. So we'll do this. Oh, I know this one. Scusi. Excuse me. Scusi.
Mi scusi.
Oh no, I got it wrong. Mi scusi. Okay. Come si chiamo?
Come si chiama?
I said oh again. All right. So this is how this goes. Practicing your vocabulary. And you can keep things fresh then. So to get back to the screen, you can either hit the back button or click on the transparent language logo, and it'll take you back to this main area. And then below my learned vocabulary section is practice. So as I said before, you can choose some different courses or different things you want to focus on. So if you really want to work on your writing, you can click on a writing lesson and go from there. I thought we could just continue on one of my things here to show you how there are some different activities. So this one's very similar to the refreshing, and buongiorno is good afternoon.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. And go like this. Oh, airline is bizarre.
La compagnia aerea.
Okay, it goes on like this. I want to show a different type of thing. Let's do language comparison. So here they're introducing the vocabulary, so you can hear it. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Means good afternoon.
La compagnia aerea.
La compagnia aerea. That's hard.
La prenotazione.
La prenotazione. So you can go through these and listen to all of them as many times as you want. When you're done, okay, we did that. Let's move on to the next thing.
Buongiorno.
Okay. So this will just play it again, and we can go through
La
to the next one.
compagnia aerea.
And you can also put it on autoplay.
La compagnia aerea.
go through to the next one.
La prenotazione. Avete?
And you can practice
Avete
each
una prenotazione a mio nome?
one.
Il biglietto.
And so it just goes through that. Let's go on to the next one. This is the pronunciation practice. So it asks to use your microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right.
Buongiorno.
So now they played it buongiorno,
Buongiorno.
buongiorno. And then we'll record it. Buongiorno. And then it will tell you how well you did. And you can listen to buongiorno, buongiorno,
Buongiorno.
buongiorno. I'm getting like a brrr. Buongiorno. I can't quite do it. Buongiorno. We got a little better, but it's not great. Buongiorno. That's bad. This is embarrassing. So then we could go on to the next one.
La compagnia aerea.
Oh gosh. La compagnia aerea. That's really hard. But I did okay. Let's listen.
La compagnia aerea.
La compagnia aerea. Okay. So you can just review the section that it identified you had trouble with. Yeah, I was having trouble there. Okay, let's go into the next one.
La prenotazione.
Okay. La prenotazione. Okay, we did all right. La prenotazione.
La prenotazione.
I think that was pretty good. So this is that microphone activity I was talking about. So that's I really love doing these. It's good. You can really get in there and practice that. Let's do a recognize and write it.
Buongiorno.
So what does this one mean? This one means good afternoon. And you can type that in.
Buongiorno.
That's right.
La compagnia aerea.
This is airline.
La compagnia aerea. La prenotazione.
This is reservation.
La prenotazione. Avete?
This was like, do you have?
Avete?
Ah, I did it.
Avete una prenotazione a mio nome?
All right. So then this one is, do you have my reservation? Oh. Oh, I just said you have. Do you have my reservation?
Avete
you
una
can
prenotazione a mio nome?
You can go in and change, do you have my reservation? There we go.
Avete una prenotazione a mio nome?
Il biglietto.
This one is ticket.
Il biglietto.
And so
Vorrei
forth.
comprare un biglietto per.
I would like to buy a ticket to
Vorrei comprare un biglietto per l'Italia.
Italy.
L'Italia.
All right. And going on.
Andata e ritorno.
And let's do the next lesson. This one is multiple choice. So it says, I am American. Now, which one of these is I am American? And you can listen to each one.
Sono americano. Capisco. Ho perso il mio passaporto.
And then this one is going to have me record it. So I will record, sono americano.
Sono americano.
And then I got it right, and it can compare the thing. So the answer is il passaporto.
Il passaporto.
Yay! Do you understand? I think it's capisci.
Capisce?
Capisce. I should have known that. Capisce. Okay, and then this was capare. So capare.
Capire.
Pire. So this can help you really hone those vowels and things. I have so much trouble with that. So here's one of those lessons. So produce and say it. Oh, this is I can't remember what this one is.
La compagnia aerea.
La compagnia. So hard to say. I was not right. And so it'll go forth and do these. So you can see some of these different types of lessons that are available. Let's do an unscramble. And so this is putting the words in the right order. So this is La Compañía Aérea. So you can move those around and then submit it.
La compagnia aerea.
La Compañía. Okay, this is, do you have a reservation in my name? For me, essentially.
Avete una prenotazione a mio nome?
Do you have my reservation? And then I would like to buy a ticket to, there you go.
Vorrei
So
comprare un
this is
biglietto
good
per
practice putting words in the right order. And the American consulate.
il consolato americano.
All right. And let's see what this is.
Buongiorno.
So now they're saying it and I have to spell it. This is the one, I'm not great at any of these, but this is the one I'm probably the worst at. So, born, oh gosh, that's bad. Okay, yeah. So then you can go back and practice it. Even though we've seen this so many times, I blank on how to spell it. So there we are. So these are just some of the lessons that you can do. Once you go through all of these, then you can mark it as learned. And then you'll be directed back to your learning path and you can move on to the next one. So do we have any questions? Okay, I am going to go ahead and stop the recording.